Hey everyone, everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Today we're diving into the wonderfully frustrating world of British government inefficiency and moral compromise with the classic satire, Yes Minister. We're breaking down Season 3, Episode 6, titled The Whiskey Priest. This episode sees Minister Jim Hacker grappling with a shocking truth that puts his principles squarely against his political ambitions and the sheer inertia of the civil service. If you don't have time to watch the whole thing, stick around, because we're about to recap all the major plot points, main characters, and key events in about 5 minutes. The episode kicks off not at Westminster, but at Minister Jim Hacker's comfortable home. Hacker and his pragmatic wife, Annie, are anxiously awaiting a mysterious army major. Hacker is clearly excited, fantasizing about being a modern-day Churchill receiving vital intelligence. Annie, ever the grounded one, is just curious and a bit skeptical about who this guy is and what he wants. The major finally arrives, after some classic Yes Minister wordplay about confidentiality, and the major presenting information on a personal basis, as a former magazine editor rather than officially. He drops the absolute bombshell. British-made, taxpayer-funded bomb detonators have been captured from a terrorist headquarters in Italy. Even worse, they're being used by Italian terrorists. The major learned this visiting NATO, but can't make an official report without revealing his source. He confirms he's already told someone at the top, which Hacker initially takes as a positive sign for action. Hacker, initially shocked by the intel, insists an investigation is needed at the highest level. After the major leaves, Annie presses Hacker, asking pointedly, "You are going to do something about it, aren't you?" The scene shifts to Hacker's office. We see Minister Jim Hacker confiding in his principal private secretary, Bernard Woolley, about the situation. But here's the twist. Hacker is surprisingly cynical. Reflecting on his long career, he tells Bernard he's now determined to prevent this information from reaching the Prime Minister. Why? Because like Watergate, he fears this seemingly small issue could trigger a wider investigation, opening a massive can of worms that could expose corruption among his colleagues and potentially bring down the government. He even quotes Lenin on everything being connected. Hacker tasks Bernard with the seemingly impossible job of blocking another cabinet minister, himself in this scenario, from seeing the Prime Minister about this sensitive issue. Bernard, the master of bureaucratic maneuvering, devises a brilliant, convoluted plan involving the cabinet secretary and diary secretary to essentially queue-jump and brief the chief whip, who can then intercept anyone trying to see the PM. Hacker approves, dryly noting Bernard is becoming a moral vacuum. The plan works. Hacker himself, perhaps feeling the need to appear to act or genuinely trying, arrives at the Prime Minister's office, only to be expertly waylaid by the chief whip. The whip claims the PM is too busy and urges Hacker to spill the beans to him instead. Hacker insists on seeing the PM, convinced there's more to it. But the whip smoothly pressures him to drop the issue, revealing that Britain already sells arms to questionable regimes like Syria, Chile, and Iran, implying Italian terrorists are just another messy consequence. Back home, or perhaps in another colleague's office, Hacker explains the encounter. The colleague reminds Hacker of the crucial importance of British arms exports for jobs, votes especially in marginal constituencies, and Hacker's own career prospects, maybe even suggesting the Foreign Secretary position. Faced with this cold political reality, Hacker seems to back down, putting loyalty and the common purpose of government survival above the moral outrage. Annie is furious when Hacker returns home. She confronts him, accusing him of sacrificing his principles for his career. He defends his position, arguing that resigning or causing a fuss might feel good, but won't stop the arms trade and could just uncover scandals involving his cabinet colleagues, achieving nothing but his own downfall. Annie challenges him to use the information as leverage, handing him a formal letter from Major Saunders detailing the scandal and proving Hacker was officially informed. Cornered by the documented evidence, Hacker feels trapped. Working with Sir Humphrey Appleby and Bernard, he devises a final, typically Yes Minister plan. He won't try to tell the PM clearly. Instead, he'll write a deliberately vague and smudged letter, full of bureaucratic jargon, sent just as the Prime Minister is leaving for an overseas summit. The goal? Obfuscation and plausible deniability, ensuring the issue is buried and everyone, including the terrorists, can get on with their business. The episode ends with Sir Humphrey Appleby at home, drinking heavily and philosophizing about the golden rule of government. Never rock the boat. His wife calls him a whiskey priest, someone who, despite his moral compromises, at least knows when he's doing wrong. So, the whiskey priest brilliantly encapsulates the core conflict of Yes Minister, the well-meaning but politically ambitious Jim Hacker caught between a clear moral issue and the pragmatic, self-serving inertia of the civil service, personified by Sir Humphrey. In the end, political survival, avoiding scandal, and the smooth functioning of the bureaucracy win out over doing the right thing, leaving us with a darkly comedic take on political compromise. It's a superb illustration of the show's enduring theme, the triumph of bureaucracy and self-interest over principle.